Hi, welcome to the session. So in this particular session, we are going to see typecasting or type conversion. So what exactly this means? So let us start with the session. See, type conversion means converting from one data type to another data type. Say for example, you want to convert to string to int or integer to string. Okay. So let us say boolean to integer. We want to convert from one data type to another data type. So we call it as a type conversion or we call it as a typecasting. So there are two types of conversions we have. So what are those two types? We have implicit conversion and explicit conversion. Implicit means automatically it will convert from one data type to another data type. Say for example, from int to float, okay? From lower data type to higher data type, automatically it will convert. Or let us say from boolean to integer, automatically it will convert. So this is called implicit conversion. We are going to see the example. We are going to see the practical session of that. So what do you mean by explicit conversion? We need to convert, certain operations are there, we need to explicitly we need to convert from one data type to another data type. Say for example, string is there, you want to convert to float, so explicitly you need to do that one. Say for example, string to float, we need to do it explicitly. And from higher data type to lower data type, say for example, you want to convert from float to int. So how exactly we can able to convert from float to int, we are going to see now. Okay, let us start with the practical session. Now we are in Spider. So let us go for implicit conversion. I will write a comment over here. So that is implicit conversion. So we are automatically it will convert. Say for example, A is equal to 10, B is equal to 20. Okay. Sorry, B is equal to 20. So let us take our result is equal to A divided by B. So what we know that A and B are what type? Integer type. Okay. So what will be the result? Okay. So let us print R is equal to, so let me give here R here, let me run this one, okay, let me run this and you can see R is 0.5. What is the type of R we got? Now A is integer, we know that this is no 10.0, it is 10, B is 20. Now it has printed this result R, A divided by B, 10 divided by 20 is 0.5. So let me write the type, we got print and we say type of R. So let me run this one now, type of R, let me run this and you can see this 0.5 is what type? Float type. Even though we have given here both are integer, but the result of division will be always be what? A float. So the R is floating type variable, okay? Even though A and B are integer type. So this is one way, automatically, this automatic conversion. We didn't say that one, right? So it has automatically converted. Okay. Now let us say for example, let me write here A plus B. Okay. Let me write here A plus B. So then what is this? Let me run this one and you can see 10 plus 20 is what? 30. And what is the result? R is integer, right? So result R is of what type? Integer. So no need to convert here because it does not involve decimal operation. So let us take here A is 10. Let us say A is 10.56, okay, and B is 20. Now A is what type here? A is integer type. B is what type? Sorry, A is what type? Float type here, fine. 10.56. B is what type? B is integer type. So when we have one integer and one float type, so what happens to this particular R, okay, whether it is integer or float. So now let us run this one and check. So what happens? It is 30.56, you can see this one, and it is of type what? Float. Even though like we have this particular integer here, so it has automatically will get the result R is a floating type. So if one operand is float type, it will convert the integer to float. From lower data type to it will convert to higher data type, so it will perform the operation. It will automatically convert. Okay. So this is one way. Let us go for a take a new file. Let me close this particular thing. Let us give another example for implicit conversion. Let me copy this implicit conversion into my new file. Okay. So now what I will do is I will take a boolean value. Okay. So let us take the boolean value B1 is equal to true. Okay. And B2 is equal to false. Okay. Now I will take R1, result R1 is equal to, So let me take, before this, let me take a variable called integer variable I is equal to 10, okay, I is equal to 10. Now B is what type? Boolean type. We know that. B1 is a Boolean type, that is true. B2 is what type? That is, B2 is Boolean type and it is false. Now let me write R1 is equal to B1 plus I, okay, and let me print R1. What do you think? What do you think this R1 will give us? Can you guess? What is this B1? B1 is true. I is what? 10. What is this true plus 10? True plus 10. What exactly is going to get? We are going to get. Can you guess? Now let me run this one and you can see it is 11. I is what? 10. B1 is true, so it will take automatically 1. It will convert it to 1. So if it is a proper integer value, if it is a proper Boolean value, then it will convert to 1. If this is false, what will happen? Let me change B1 to B2. Now false plus I. 10 plus false is always automatically convert to integer. So let me run this now. You can see now R1 is 10. The result is 10. So let me write the type of this particular R1, type of R1, okay. Let me run this one, it is integer, okay. So even though this B2 is what type? Boolean type. B2 is what type? Boolean type. So it will convert this true or false to integer. If it is true, it will convert, since another operand is what type? Integer type. Boolean is a lower data type. It will convert to higher data type. The higher data type of Boolean is integer. Fine. Boolean to it will convert to integer automatically. We don't have to do anything. Automatically it does. So we should know all these things. Okay. So if it is Boolean operation, in the addition operation, if one operand is integer, another operand is a Boolean, see this Boolean will be converted to either 1 or 0 based upon whether it is true or false. If it is true, the Boolean variable will be converted to 1. Okay. So in this way, it's going to perform the operation. Fine. Now this is implicit conversion. Let me go for explicit conversion now. Let me copy this implicit. I'll go to a new file. Okay. So explicit conversion. Okay. Explicit conversion. Fine. So let me type here one string S1 is equal to 1 to, let us take 10. Okay. Let us take 10 and we have integer variable I is equal to 20. Okay. Now if I perform this one, let us say R is equal to S1 plus I. Okay. S1 plus I. What do you think? What we get? R is equal to R. Okay. Now let me run this and you can see we got an error. Why? Can you guess why it is? Why? Because S1 is what type? It is string type. I is what type? It is integer type. So string and integer, you try to add up that string and integer. It's because of the type mismatch, because of the data type is different, that's why it's going to give error. Now I need to convert one of the operand to higher data type, okay, or lower data type. Say for example, I will convert this S1 to int type, integer. Now explicitly I am saying here, I have to say now what? Please convert this S1. S1 is what? 10. It's a string. You can see this is a string and this is an integer. Now this string I need to convert it to what? Integer. I am telling int is a function. It's going to convert a string value to a integer variable, integer value. So this is 10 is nothing but is going to remove these double quotes and we get what? 10 here and I is what? 20. 10 plus 20, what we are going to get the result, and you can see R is 30. Okay. R is 30. Now this R is a integer variable. Okay. R is an integer variable. So because this is, we are converting to integer, this is integer, the result of this particular operation is integer. So in this way we can perform explicit conversion. In implicit conversion, you don't have to say anything. Automatically it will convert. Okay. Some of the things like as I told, Boolean to integer and from integer to float, automatically it will convert. Fine. Now here in this case we need to say, this is one case. Let me remove this. Here I will remove and I will remove this one. Now What I will do is, let me say here, str, okay, str of I. Okay. Now, what it is going to happen? This S1 is what? String type 10. Okay. I is what? It is an integer. I am converting it to what? String now. Okay. Let me run this one and you can see 1020. So here it's going to concatenate. It's not going to add because you have 10 in a string, 20, and it's going to merge 10 and 20 as 10, 20. It's not going to add up now because string we are converting this 20, we are adding the double quotes actually. So 20 is there, we are adding the double quotes, 10 is there with double quotes, we are merging, joining. Okay. So the result. Now let me print type of this particular R. Okay, if I print the type of R, you can see this is the result is a string. Okay. Now same thing, if I convert this to int here and I'll remove this one now for the previous one, you can see now I'm converting this to integer and this is already integer, the result will be integer. You can see the result is 30 now and it is integer. This R is integer type. Okay. So in this way we need to have, if you want to convert, this is we call it as an explicit conversion. Fine. This is one thing. Let me change the values over here. Let me give here 10.50. Okay. We have here 20.3. Okay. Now let me give R here. R is equal to S1 plus I. Okay. Now there is, if I run this one, it will give error. One is what type? I is float type, correct? And this is a string type. It is in double quotes. S1 is in double quotes. I need to convert this to a float. So it is a compulsory now. I need to convert one of the operand to float, or I need to convert this to a string. Okay. Now I will convert this to S1 to float, that is 10.5 now. Instead of double quotes, we'll remove the double quote, 10.5 plus 20.3. We'll see what is going to give the result. It is 30.8 and the R will be of what type? It is floating type. Okay. So we have what are the methods, functions we saw? Float we saw, int we saw, str we saw. These are all explicit conversion functions to convert from one data type to another data type. Okay. This is one method. Now let me take a new one, explicit conversion. I'll copy so that we should not get confused. Okay, explicit conversion, and let us take, I have Boolean value called true. Okay, I have Boolean value called true. I is equal to, I can say int of b. Okay, I can convert like this also. Print I. Okay, comma type of I. Now see this one, b is what type? True. It's a Boolean value. I'm converting it to what? Integer. So when I say this one, let me run this one and I can see I is, let me write here, I is equal to I. Let me run this now. I is equal to what? 1. It is what type? Integer. Even though b is true, we are assigning this b to what? I. But we are converting to integer. So it will be like based upon, now if it is false, it will be what? 0 now. Okay. If I run this one, now we get what? 0 and integer type. This one is integer type. So depending upon whenever we are converting to integer, b will be either taken it as 1 or 0. If it is true, it will be 1 or 0. So this is called explicit conversion. Fine. Now let me take up another example here. Let me remove these things. I will add up f is equal to 10.5. Okay, 10.5, and I can say I is equal to int of f. Print I equal to I. Okay. Let me run this one and you can see, let me close the console. I'll demonstrate again. Now I equal to 10. Even though we have given f as 10.5, but we are assigning f to what? I. When we assign this one, But not only assigning, we are converting to what integer? We are removing the decimal part. So we are telling convert from float to int. Okay, that's why it's going to remove the decimal part. So and it is going to print the value of I. It is 10. So I is what type now? Int type. Now you can print that one. You can see type of I. Okay, type of I. Let me run this one, and you can see it is integer type. Even though f is float, we are assigning it to I. We are converting that to integer, and see f will be remain same. If you type the what is the type of data type of f, f is 10.5 only. The value will not change, and the data type will not change. Okay, how we are going to assign is going to differ. Before assigning, we are converting to another data type. So what we have learned. So there is a type conversion or the conversion types in Python. We have implicit conversion or explicit conversion. Implicit conversion, automatically it will convert from one data type to another data type. Okay, from lower data type to higher data type, it automatically converts. Now for other types of conversion, we need to say that explicit conversion. Why we need this explicit conversion? You are going to see in the next session, that is the input function is coming. For that, we need to learn this particular explicit conversion. Okay, thank you very much.